Lena stood in awe, taking in the vibrant world that stretched before her. The purple sky, the floating islands, and the magical creatures were overwhelming. Everything seemed so alive, pulsing with an energy she had never known. As she clutched the compass, its soft glow reassured her that she was still on the right path, though she couldn't help but wonder where it would lead. The kind woman from before gestured for Lena to follow. "Come," she said, her voice gentle but firm. "There are others you must meet." Lena followed the woman down a winding path, the air shimmering with light as they walked. Soon they arrived at a village, unlike any Lena had ever seen. The houses were perched on floating rocks, connected by delicate bridges made of light. People of all shapes and sizes moved about, their glowing garments trailing behind them. Some had wings, others had tails, and many bore strange markings that shimmered in the air. "You're not the first to cross into our world," the woman said. "Many from your world have come before you, each seeking something different. Some sought power, others wisdom, but all of them had to prove themselves worthy." Lena's heart skipped a beat. "Prove myself? How?" The woman stopped in front of a tall, spiraling tower that seemed to stretch into the sky itself. "Within this tower lies the heart of the land of winds. To find your true path, you must reach the top. Along the way, you will face trials, challenges that will test your strength, your courage, and your heart. Only those who pass the trials are shown their true destiny." Lena stared up at the tower, its peak lost in the clouds. The task seemed daunting, but something deep inside her stirred, a feeling of determination she hadn't felt before. "I'll do it," Lena said, her voice steady. "I'll face whatever trials await me." The woman nodded, her eyes filled with approval. "Good, but remember, the compass can only guide you so far. The rest is up to you." Lena took a deep breath and stepped toward the tower's entrance. As soon as she crossed the threshold, the world around her shifted. The village disappeared, replaced by a dense forest, its trees towering high above her. The air was thick with mist, and the only sound was the rustling of leaves in the wind. The compass in her hand glowed brighter, its needle pointing deeper into the forest. Lena followed its direction, her heart racing with both fear and excitement. The further she walked, the more the forest seemed to close in around her. Shadows flickered in the corner of her vision, and strange noises echoed through the trees. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the mist. A tall, imposing man with eyes like fire. He wore armor made of dark, twisted metal, and in his hand he held a sword that glowed with an eerie red light. "Who dares enter the Forest of Shadows?" the man boomed, his voice shaking the ground beneath her feet. Lena swallowed hard, gripping the compass tightly. I seek the top of the tower. I'm here to prove myself." The man's fiery eyes narrowed. "Many have tried, but few succeed. To pass, you must face your greatest fear." Lena's heart pounded in her chest. Face her greatest fear? She wasn't sure what that was, but before she could ask, the man raised his sword, and the mist around them began to swirl violently. It coalesced into a dark, menacing shape, a shadowy version of herself, its eyes cold and cruel. "You are your own greatest fear," the man said. "Defeat the doubt within you, or be consumed by it." The shadow lunged at Lena, and she barely had time to react. She dodged to the side, but the shadow was fast, too fast. It moved with all the doubts and fears she had buried deep inside, her fear of failure, her fear of never finding her place, her fear of not being enough. As the shadow circled her, whispering every fear she had ever felt, Lena felt her resolve weaken. The doubts crept in, making her question why she had come in the first place. Maybe the shadow was right. Maybe she wasn't strong enough, brave enough, or worthy enough. But then her hand tightened around the compass. Its glow pierced through the darkness, reminding her of why she had started this journey. She had come to find her destiny, to prove to herself that she was more than her fears. "I am enough," Lena whispered, her voice growing stronger. "I won't let my fears control me." The compass blazed with light, and Lena stood tall, facing the shadow head-on. With a surge of determination, she raised her hand, and the light from the compass engulfed the shadow. It screamed, writhing in the light before dissolving into mist. The forest fell silent. The man with fiery eyes watched her with approval. "You have faced your fear and emerged victorious. The path to the next trial is open." Lena felt a wave of relief wash over her, but she knew her journey wasn't over yet. The tower still loomed ahead, and there were more trials to face. For the first time in her life, she felt ready. As she walked deeper into the forest, the compass glowing softly in her hand, Lena knew one thing for sure. She was no longer lost.